Hello, everyone, and welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. Give me just a second so I can welcome those who want to access the program in Spanish to our conference call with Spanish interpretation. Buenas tardes, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí en 3 p.m. con SOC. Como siempre, ustedes pueden escuchar el programa en español a través de una llamada de conferencia. Y el número aparece aquí en la pantalla y es 646-749-3122 y el código para entrar es 779-328-221. Y ahora les voy a dejar con nuestra querida Marlene, quien va a ser nuestra moderadora de hoy. Thank you for letting me do that. I'm going to leave you in the hands of our beloved Marlene, who is going to be the moderator for today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to 6 o'clock with SOC. So I am the Public Health Coordinator here at the Southside Organizing Center. And today is the Public Health Day where we focus on COVID-19, but we also have some other segments for you guys as well, such as a youth segment, a critical update, and COVID-19 as well. So for today, our main guest is going to essentially be Dr. Zaibak. So Dr. Zaibak we have a pre-recorded video for you guys of him talking about the COVID-19 third dose and then the safety and side effects of that. So give me a minute while I share my screen.
Sounds good. And then I will. This is so much fun. Just give me a second. So share screen. Okay. So basically, anything out of the market will report is not as good as we thought to expect. The common side effects include fever, chills, body aches, and soreness at the injection site. As a pharmacist, most of the people report the soreness at the injection site as the #1 side effect from the vaccine. It's normal to have these, and it's a sign that your body is building protection to the virus. Most side effects go away in few days, and the likelihood of severe side effects is less than 0.005%. Marlene, you had a question?
Yeah, so we do have some questions.
Sure.
So Stacy was asking what could happen if...
Say that again.
What can happen if you don't receive your second dose?
If you don't receive the second dose of Pfizer or Moderna, you still get some protection, okay? But it's not the maximum protection that we're looking for. You'll get some protection by having the antibodies into your system, but you just don't get, in order for you to get to the full protection with Pfizer or Moderna, you want to get as close as possible to that 95% protection. And that usually happens 2 weeks after the second dose. Now, we've looked at people who only got one dose. And yes, when you check for their antibodies, they do have some antibodies, but those antibodies go away very fast versus somebody who's gotten the second dose and they waited for 2 weeks after the second dose to check.
And then Julia's asking, would you know why agencies have different time protocols in getting the second dose? Oh, do you mean, Julia, like the amount of time between getting the first and second dose?
Yeah, a lot of even some countries make you wait longer between the first and the second dose, and many of the countries have supply issue. We're so lucky in the United States, vaccine is available. in very high numbers. And so for in the United States, 21 days after the first dose of Pfizer, 28 days after the first dose of Moderna is realistic. And you really, in my opinion, you shouldn't wait any longer. But I've seen it in other countries where they made people wait because of supply issue. People travel internationally all the time and they come to us and they said, oh, it's been 2 months since I got my Pfizer. Can I still get my second dose? Because in my country, they did not have second doses for us. And the answer is yes, go ahead and get it as quickly as possible.
That makes sense. And then Stacy is asking, why do some people die from the vaccine?
People, they're okay, just like any medication, people have different allergies. If you think of aspirin, we think of aspirin and it's a very benign medication. It's just aspirin. People take it when they have headache, or some people take it as a blood thinner to thin their heart, their blood. But if you look at the data, a lot of people died after taking an aspirin because they're allergic to aspirin. A lot of people have died from taking ibuprofen, and yet millions and millions of people take ibuprofen on a daily basis. Amoxicillin, there were a lot of people who died of amoxicillin because they were allergic to amoxicillin or to penicillin, and yet it's a medication that's prescribed every day and it saves people's lives and it takes care of infections and it makes people feel better. So just because somebody died after taking a medication does not mean that we have to take it off the market, unless the numbers become alarming. And I know, for example, there was a medication that was used for arthritis called Vioxx, and they looked at it and it was causing heart issues, and people were dying from taking it. And then the FDA decided, we're going to take it off the market. So it's not just because somebody died after taking a medication, it's not a reason for it to be taken off the market, because the benefits of having that medication into the market or vaccine into the market outweighs the risk. So, any other question?
There's one more. What is the difference between being approved by the FDA and meeting safety and efficacy standards of the FDA?
Okay, being approved by the FDA is just another level. So there's authorization, and that's the emergency use authorization. That's the one we were talking about. That's in a case of an emergency, like, or a pandemic, like what we're going through right now, the FDA can expedite the process. It doesn't mean that we can introduce something that's not effective or not safe into the market, but we can expedite the process, okay? And eliminate some of the bureaucratic steps that are needed to get something approved. Now, Pfizer is actually working with the FDA right now to get the product fully approved. Okay, so once that happened, that's just an extra protection of approval. And again, they have to go through a lot of paperwork, a lot of it's just a little bit of more tedious process that under normal circumstances, if you're trying to introduce, let's say, a new medication for diabetes, it is okay to wait for the new medication, even if it takes years for the new medication to be approved, because we have a lot of other medications available today in the market to treat diabetes. But when you're working with a pandemic where hundreds of thousands of people are dying, then you really can't wait. You can't wait for 3 or 4 years for the approval process. You can't wait for the whole bureaucracy and the paperwork to be approved. So you go through the EUA process. Again, you still have to show safety and efficacy. It's just a little bit of a faster track. Okay.
Awesome. Julia said, it makes sense. Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you. So who's eligible to get the vaccine today? Everyone who's 12 and older, people who children between age of 12 and 17 can only get the Pfizer, because Pfizer actually went to the FDA and got the authorization to administer it in children 12 and to 17, and there was enough data and enough clinical studies to show, again, safety and efficacy in that group of people. And when can children 12 and under receive the COVID-19 vaccine? I think that there are clinical studies or clinical trials that are going on right now, both with Pfizer and Moderna. They haven't been finalized yet. So that's why neither company can go to the FDA and get the authorization to start administering it in children, let's say 11 or 10 or even 3. But I actually really think that this is going to happen sooner or later. We're never going to be able to completely get rid of this pandemic until we vaccinate those children, because if you think about it, they are a significant percentage of the population, and they interact with each other daily at schools and when they go play games, and they transmit transmit and carry the virus from one person to another, and each one of them goes home and they transmit it to their families. So I'm really happy, or I'll be really happy when Pfizer or Moderna are available in children who are under 12. Post-vaccination symptoms, these are symptoms that can happen and they're normal after the vaccination. So the vaccination, first of all, it will not cause respiratory symptoms, sore throat or cough. Call your doctor if your symptoms don't go away or get worse. Some people may not have post-vaccination symptoms, and that's normal. For me, I didn't get any symptoms after I got vaccinated. And the vaccine is still working in their body. Again, the most common side effects are soreness in the arm, fever, temperature, chills. Those are very common side effects. So vaccine safety for Johnson & Johnson pause. If anything, the pause that was on the Johnson & Johnson, it really shows that there are people looking. There are people who are actually continuously looking for issues and finding if those vaccines are problematic in any way or form. So when there were the clots, there was after the vaccine was administered to about 7 million people, there were some people who had those clots, and the clots, these clots happened in 6 people. Mainly, actually, all of them were women between the ages of 18 and 48. And these symptoms occurred 6 to 13 days after the vaccine. So there was a concern. The FDA looked and to see if that's just a coincidence, or was it truly caused by the vaccine itself? And they really could not find that link. They decided, the FDA and the CDC decided to reintroduce the Johnson & Johnson again into the market. So today we're still able to administer it into our pharmacy. Okay. So while these events are rare, they're still serious. And again, their healthcare workers are still continuously reporting anything that they feel can be linked to the vaccines. What else? So again, the Johnson & Johnson was reintroduced. So know if you need 1 or 2 doses. This slide here shows which vaccines need 2 doses and which vaccine would need 1 dose. And of course, Johnson & Johnson or Janssen, that's another name, only is 1 dose. Pfizer is 2 doses and you wait for 21 days between the 2 doses. Moderna is 2 doses and you wait for 28 days after the dose. Okay. And before you leave the vaccine clinic, ask, do I need to come back for a second dose? And when do I come back? And usually you're going to have a specific date. It is okay to come a little bit after that date. Okay. And the third dose, we were getting those questions all the time. Actually, most of our phone calls in the pharmacy those days are about the third dose. What is it? Is it stronger? And the answer is it's exactly the same volume and the same concentration as the first and the second dose. Is it available to people in Milwaukee? Yes, it is. But right now we're focusing on the people who are immunocompromised. So people who have HIV, people who take steroid medication because of their asthma, people who have had cancer, people who are on chemo. All of these people are immunocompromised. And if you're not sure if you are immunocompromised or not, ask your doctor, ask your pharmacist, and we can look up your conditions and see if you qualify. Can people get third doses and not get the other 2 or 1 before it? Just like I mentioned, it's exactly the same volume, exactly the same concentration. So if you did not get first or second dose and you come to us today, basically the dose we give you today is going to be the first dose. It's not any different. It's the exact same concentration, exact same volume, whether we're talking about Moderna or Pfizer. Wouldn't the vaccine have boosted my immune system with the first dosage or the same shot? And why a third one? The immune system or the immunity that we get from the vaccine decrease over time. And for some vaccines that can take years, and for some vaccines that can take months. And so far the data we have today on COVID vaccine is that the immunity we get from it drops after a few months. So that's why for somebody who got who's immunocompromised and it's been more than 28 days since they got their second dose, they are eligible for a third dose today. What are the side effects of getting the third dose? Exactly just like the first doses, the first 2 doses, the fever, the chills, mainly the local reaction in the arm, and that's about it. Keep your vaccine record safe. Keep yours and your family vaccine records in a safe, fireproof place, and your freezer works great. Keep track or keep them all in one place. And you can always keep track of all your vaccine. Wisconsin has a platform. It's called the Wisconsin Immunization Registry, WIR. And we all healthcare providers submit the vaccines data directly into that platform. So if the patient got their vaccine at the clinic or at the pharmacy or in the hospital. It's all into a central location, and any healthcare provider in the state of Wisconsin can log in and get the records for a specific patient. So if you lose your card, just come to us. You can always come to Hayat Pharmacy, even if you did not get your vaccine at Hayat Pharmacy, and we can print you your immunization record. COVID-19 vaccines are free for you. You will never have to pay a penny for a COVID vaccine, whether you have insurance or don't have insurance, whether you are a documented immigrant or undocumented immigrant, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen. If you're a visitor into the United States, everybody gets the vaccine for free. There's a charge that goes to the insurance for the administration fee, but you don't have to pay that. The insurance has to pay it, and that's just for the administration cost. People who don't have insurance don't have to pay that administration cost. And if you get a charge at any location, any clinic, any pharmacy, you can always email this email here, or you can email Marlene. But honestly, nobody, not just in the state of Wisconsin, but throughout the country, nobody should ever have to pay a penny for a vaccine. What to expect at vaccine clinics? Again, ask questions. And if you have fears about needles or medicine practice strategies, such as or medicine practice strategies such as deep breathing, listening to music, thinking of a calming space. We've had people who were like really, really panicky about the vaccine, and we give them some time, give them their privacy, and have them prepare for the vaccine. Again, deep breathing, listening to music, or thinking of a calming place. Okay, read the vaccine information while you wait for your turn to get vaccinated. Just get educated, feel more comfortable with the vaccine. If you ever have a question about the vaccine, feel free to call me. This is my phone number. I'm at this location most of the time. I'm at 807 West Layton Avenue. We vaccinate 7 days a week. So if somebody's busy, they can come to us on a weekday. They can come to us on the weekend, and we'll take care of them. We also do testing, the COVID testing 7 days a week. So whether you need vaccination or testing, please come to us and we'll take care of you.
All right, so that was some really vital information from Dr. Zaibak from Hayat Pharmacy. We included his phone number and the location of Hayat Pharmacy and the days, and so they're available every single day on 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can go right in. You don't need any appointment, walk-in vaccinations, and testing. So they're also a collaborator with the Department of Health Services, which is one of the main reasons we are working together on this. So now I'm going to bring on our Executive Director, Tammy Rivera, and she's going to give you all a critical update.
Hola, thanks, Marlene.
You're welcome.
That was a very helpful piece shared with us all. I have the J&J, so that was useful for me as well. We are in our new format. In case you haven't noticed, it's August, and so we had a promise to be with you every single weekday of the pandemic, and we were until the end of July. As you know, June 1st was sort of the first step of our community coming back to some sense of reintroduction to regular activities. And so we waited all of June and July to change from a weekday to a weekly now forum. And so We are with you Thursdays now at 6 o'clock with SOC, and this is our first month of doing that. So things are a little different, trying to meet your needs and be with you during this time. Okay, as part of our new weekly forum, we will have our scheduled weeks of different themes. As we were doing daily, those translate into weekly now. But the weeklies will also continue to have an update, a critical update, because you all responded that that was important to you when we surveyed you and talked to you. And then you'll get a weekly civic engagement update and a weekly youth update in addition to whatever we're focusing on in the day. And so here I am for the critical update. And I'm thinking what might be of most importance to you all is the recent announcement about our mayor, Tom Barrett, that President Joe Biden has nominated him to be the ambassador for Luxembourg, a small country in Europe about the size of Milwaukee. And so I just want to share a couple of things about that in case you're wondering, what happens next. And so this isn't going to happen immediately. So the president has nominated him. He still has to be confirmed. And so it's early in the process. What we can expect is if his nomination goes through the Senate, then the next step would be for him to resign. Then the president of the Common Council, Chevy Johnson, would be the acting mayor, and there would hold a special election. That's not expected to happen. Let's say everything goes well with the nomination and it's accepted. Then it is expected to take a couple of months. So nothing's going to happen right away. But we thought it would be important to follow up that announcement that our mayor has been selected or nominated to be an ambassador to a country. Essentially, he said he would be accepting that and then moving on. So if you have any questions about that, I'm going to check the questions. I'm also going to check who's with us to say hello. I haven't seen you in a long time. I noticed Jennifer Gestel was with us earlier. Hola, Jennifer. If you're with us, say hello in the comments so we can acknowledge you and say hello. We don't have any questions at this time. So I just want to thank you for giving me some time and to share that update. And we hope to see you soon. Next time I'm on the forum next week, 6 o'clock with SOC on Thursdays. Gracias.
Thank you, Tammy. All right, that was a great update. Good to know our governor is being recognized for all of the great work he's doing, and they're moving forwards with that. So good things are happening. That being said, our next segment is going to be the the civic update that we have. So I have a video here for you all.
I also just want to share some information with you about the redistricting process that can now officially start in Milwaukee. So we know that this redistricting census data was released last week, meaning that local redistricting processes can officially begin, even though we know that at the state level, the People's Maps Commission has been ahead of the game in involving people in the process ahead of this data release by making community maps, public education about redistricting. And we've discussed this on the forum before. But now that each county has their specific data from the state of Wisconsin, local municipalities and the counties can create their maps. And I'm just going to share the City of Milwaukee website that explains about this process in the city of Milwaukee and a little bit about the county level stuff too. So let me share my screen with you all real quick, and I'll read through some of the most vital information that this website presents. Let me zoom in a little bit for you all. So we know the United States conducts a census of the entire population every 10 years, and this is used for many purposes, including the drawing of boundaries for election districts at the federal, state, and local levels. So Wisconsin law requires that once the census data becomes available, local governments and the state legislature are required to adjust the boundaries of election districts or voting wards so that they are as equal as possible in population. So voting wards, aldermanic districts, supervisory districts, all of that. So we know that this release of census data came late, but now it can officially start now that it has come out. So once this data is received, the local redistricting process will begin. Counties are first required to develop a tentative supervisory district plan for their county boards. So the Milwaukee County Board will have to do their district plan first. And then after that, municipalities like the city of Milwaukee are required to revise the boundaries of election wards and then their city council districts. And then also school districts and the state legislature are required to update boundaries for their election districts as well. For the city of Milwaukee, the redistricting process will be overseen by the Common Council's Judiciary and Legislation Committee. They will be supported by Legislative Reference Bureau staff who are trained in geographic information systems and redistricting laws and procedures. And then the final election wards and aldermanic districts will be adopted by the Common Council. So it goes through the legislation or Judiciary and Legislation Committee. Things get passed there, and then it moves on to the full Common Council to be adopted. And then also on this website, which is in the comment section, it's just city.milwaukee.gov/common council/redistricting. You can see the 2011 redistricting data as well. And then just to give a short timeline, I also do want to say that Alderman Ashanti Hamilton made clear that there will be a public hearing process so that public inputs can be provided to these maps. He said that the process will include public hearings held before the Judiciary and Legislation Committee, where citizen review and input will be front and center. He said this will be a transparent and public process involving feedback and review from the public at key junctures. All voices with input into the details will be heard. So I just wanted to highlight that he said that in one of his press releases. But let's look a little bit at the timeline here. So at September 1st is when the late receipt of the census data typically would be earlier than September. But we'll get that information that we need from the county, from Milwaukee County. And then on September 15th, the Milwaukee County will adopt its tentative district plan and transmits it officially to the city. And then October 4th, the Judiciary and Legislation Committee hears proposed ward plan. And then throughout October, there will be notices for public hearings, and then, referring to and from the Common Council. Then on October 18th, the ward plan will be due back to Milwaukee County. November 1st, the Judiciary and Legislation Committee hears proposed district plan, which will be a special meeting. Then November 2nd, the Common Council will adopt the final district plan and give it back to Milwaukee County. So there's back and forth, many opportunities for public input, and that's going to be really important, especially if you're thinking of your own aldermanic district. If you feel like it should be shaped differently, if you feel like there are portions of your district that should be not in your district or that should be in your district, those are going to be moments for you to share during that public input process.
All right, that was very helpful. Felt like that video was great at explaining redistricting in Milwaukee. I included the 2 websites for redistricting and the 2011 redistricting as well. So the first site is the cityofmilwaukee.gov/common counselor/redistricting. So you can check out how redistricting works in Milwaukee. And then the 2011 redistricting is the site that gives out a timeline of how that redistricting happened in Milwaukee. That being said, I'm going to now share a video regarding our SOC youth that I feel you all will enjoy.
Good evening, SOC viewers. My name is Angel, and I've been a youth organizer at SOC for 3 years now. The youth program at SOC has really helped me in several aspects, but today I would like to focus on the aspect of career development. Every Wednesday, we had our youth day where we explore many different careers and had guests come in and talk about their careers and how to succeed in those careers if we wanted to go through that pathway. Because of the amount of professionals that took their time to talk to us, I have been provided with a generous amount of information and knowledge on several careers, especially the career that I'm particularly interested in, which is the field of dentistry. My personal favorite career day was when med students that wanted to become doctors came in to talk to us about their daily lives and get the gist of how they go about their day. This is just one example of the many ways that SOC has helped me in my career development. Apart from that, SOC has aided me with plenty of experiences which helped me stand out from other students or colleagues when applying to colleges or jobs. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Hi, my name is Jasmine and I'm a youth organizer with the Southside Organizing Center. SOC has helped me a lot in many ways. SOC would always make sure me and my siblings were enrolled in school. They're always encouraging us to apply to scholarships and provide us with the resources to do so. We worked on an Optimist International essay contest on how we have reached our goals by being optimistic. SOC has also helped me with my personal development, always pushing me to do better, learning new things, and helping my community.
Awesome. We love our youth. It was always great working with both of those young individuals, and they're very smart and bright and have a great future ahead for them. And so that's the end of our forum. I'm going to leave you all with a survey promo for individuals to complete our survey. It helps us get feedback on our forum and see how well we're doing, what suggestions you might have, who you want to see on the forum. But this is actually my last episode here with SOC. So it's actually it's pretty sad. I'm actually really sad that this is my last one. It's been a long road since last May of 2020 since I've been working on this. We have around 340 episodes, but it was a great journey, and I'm glad we're at where we're at for the organization and for our COVID-19 campaigning. I feel SOC has been here through it all, and we are still going to continue being here for everybody. So thank you all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Has this live forum been informative and useful to you? What part of the forum could be improved or changed to make it better? Please take a quick survey that's located in the comments section so that we can keep 3 o'clock with SOC going for residents. Thank you for tuning in.